Welcome to today's sports update. I'm Maya.
And I'm Finn. We've got a packed show for you, covering everything from the latest football highlights to exciting MLB news.
Let's dive right in. First up, we've got some thrilling football action.
That sounds great. I love looking back at some of the greatest matches.
The Premier League Greatest Game Series is showcasing some incredible matches. One of them is Manchester United versus Chelsea from the 2019-20 season, where Manchester United won 4-0.
Wow, that's a significant win. What made that game so special?
The reporting highlights that it was a dominant performance by Manchester United. They really controlled the game from start to finish.
That must have been a big confidence booster for them. Did it have any major implications for their season?
The article suggests that it was part of a strong run for Manchester United that season. They were really on a roll.
That's great. What about some other matches in the Greatest Game series?
There's also a fantastic match between Manchester United and Manchester City from the 2011-12 season, where Manchester City won 6-1.
Oh, that's a memorable one. The scoreline is quite telling. How did Manchester City manage such a big win?
According to the reports, Manchester City was just on fire that day. They scored goals at will and completely outplayed United.
Wow, 6-1 is quite a convincing scoreline. Did that have any impact on the rivalry between the two teams?
Well, it definitely added to the tension. The rivalry between Manchester United and Manchester City is always intense, and a win like that just fuels it further.
That's true. What about some other Premier League matches featured in the Greatest Game series?
There's also Tottenham versus Chelsea from 2008, which ended in a thrilling 4-4 draw.
That sounds like an absolute thriller. What made that game so memorable?
The match was back and forth, with both teams creating numerous chances. It was just an end-to-end game that kept fans on the edge of their seats.
I can imagine. A 4-4 scoreline is quite rare. Did either team go on to have a successful season after that?
The reporting doesn't directly link that match to their overall season performance, but it was definitely one of the highlights of the year.
Great. Let's move on to some EFL action. What are some of the greatest games highlighted there?
The EFL Greatest Game Series is featuring some fantastic matches as well. One of them is Aston Villa versus Sheffield United from the 2018-19 season.
That sounds interesting. What made that particular match stand out?
The article mentions that it was a closely contested game with plenty of drama, the kind of match that keeps you engaged till the very end.
I love those kinds of games. Were there any other notable EFL matches in the Greatest Game series?
Yes, there's also Derby County versus Cardiff City from the 2017-18 season, another exciting encounter.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. What about Exeter City versus Carlisle United? That one's from 2017, right?
Exactly. The reporting highlights that as another memorable match, though I couldn't find specific details on what made it so special.
That's okay. Sometimes just knowing it's featured is enough to pique my interest. I'll have to look it up.
Now, let's switch gears to some MLB excitement. I hear Jordan Walker had an impressive home run derby win.
That's right. Jordan Walker silenced the Philadelphia crowd by hitting home runs on his last 6 swings, ultimately defeating Kyle Schwarber in the final round.
Wow, what a comeback. How did he manage that?
According to the reports, Walker just raised his game in the final round. He hit some crucial home runs that really turned the tide in his favor.
That's incredible. What was the reaction from the Philadelphia crowd?
Well, the crowd was initially against him, but his performance in the final round really won them over. They were quiet as he made his winning hit.
That's amazing. It must have been a big confidence booster for him. Is this his first major win?
Yes, it was. He became the first St. Louis Cardinal to win the Home Run Derby, which is quite an achievement.
Congratulations to him. That's definitely a story to watch in the future.
Now, let's move on to some World Cup news. I hear Spain had a big win against France.
That's right. Spain beat France 2-0, advancing to the World Cup final. Miko Oyarzabal scored from the penalty spot, and Pedro Porro added another goal.
Wow, that's a convincing win. How did Spain manage to shut down France and Kylian Mbappé?
According to the reports, Spain put in a masterful performance. They frustrated France's attack and didn't give them much chance to score.
That's impressive. France is known for their attacking prowess, so it must have been tough for them.
The article mentions that Spain's defense was solid and they capitalized on their chances. Lamine Yamal's play was particularly noteworthy as it led to the penalty.
I've heard of Yamal. He's quite the young talent, right?
Exactly. The reporting highlights that he made a significant impact despite his young age. His playmaking ability was on full display.
That's exciting to see. What does this mean for Spain's chances in the World Cup final?
The article suggests that Spain is looking strong after this performance. They've got a good chance, having been so solid against France.
That's interesting. I heard France's coach Didier Deschamps had some thoughts on Spain's chances before their match.
Yes, Deschamps actually said that he still saw Spain as the favorites going into their semifinal match.
That's quite a statement. What was the context behind that?
According to the reports, Deschamps acknowledged that while France had been performing well, Spain's overall campaign had built momentum gradually.
I see, so he was giving Spain credit even before the match.
Exactly. The article suggests that Deschamps was being quite respectful of Spain's abilities and didn't underestimate them.
That's a smart move. Underestimating an opponent can be costly in a tournament like the World Cup.
Absolutely. It shows that Deschamps was taking Spain seriously, which is what ultimately happened.
Well, it's been a great conversation covering all these exciting sports stories. Thanks for joining me, Maya.
Thanks, Finn. It's been a pleasure discussing these fantastic matches and performances with you.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to our sports update.
Until next time, stay sports loving.